Welcome to No Border Blues with Johnny Bergen and Stephanie Tice, a podcast about hidden blues artists that you should know about and the sometimes surprising hidden blues scenes around the world. Johnny is a Delmark recording artist who regularly tours and collaborates with international blues players, and Stephanie recently produced the No Border Blues Japan CD, the first American compilation of the underground Japanese blues scene. This show is sponsored by Chicago Blues Network, bringing Chicago blues to the world.
Shakedown Tim from Belgium on Rhythm Records.
I found true love, yeah, one worth me waiting for. Well, I found true love, yeah, one worth waiting for. I'm gonna sign it to a contract. You won't find one little flaw. Well, it's hard to believe the condition the world is in. Well, it's hard to believe the condition that the world is in. Where you can trust nobody, girl, you know it's a sin.
Yeah. Right on.
Bravo.
Bravo. Sound like $1 million, Tim. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for that great song, and I can really hear that Chicago style. Is tell me a little bit how you got your name Shakedown Tim.
My last name is very hard to pronounce in English, and I needed something that sounded good, and yeah, I was with my musicians thinking about something, and I can't stand still when I'm on stage. So they say, hey, do something with shake, and then shakedown is a cool word. It also has different meanings. It's not that I'm a gangster or shaking down people all the time or something, but yeah, it's the first it's shaky Tim, but yeah, there's already shaky Horton, so I'm not gonna compete with him.
Yeah. That's great. I know that you're also called the analog man. You have one of the things I'm always interested in with international artists is their lyrics and where they get their lyrics and inspiration from. You do a lot of clever wording and pairing. So do you think in your native language, or do you always think in the English language when you're creating your songs and your lyrics?
Most of the time, when I got a good line in English, I can, and it's a good hook for the song. Then I go from that. Like the last single I had on the latest record was a song called "I'm Gonna Drop You Like a Bad Habit." That was actually, yeah, was actually, I was on tour with James Harmon, and he had argument with his manager, and he just shouted at him, and everybody was like, "Oh no, they're arguing," but I was like, "Oh, thank you, James. I got a new song." So, so that happened. I hear something, and then I build a story around it, or I already have the story, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
that's
love
how I try to
James.
do it.
You've gotten to play with a lot of wonderful players, Kim Wilson, James. James is one of my favorite people. I did a little video of him with my high school students, which was real interesting because he was giving them advice on being a musician, and it kind of terrified them, really. But I wondered, how was that collaboration with James, and how did that come about with you working with James Harmon?
First time I worked with him was actually because I was playing with Gene Taylor at that time a lot, and James was coming on tour, and I was always, he's one of my favorite. For me, he's my, that sounds weird, but he's my favorite modern player.
You're right.
Because most of my heroes are already dead for a long time. But James, yeah, from the first time I heard him, he's so clever with his lyrics. He's funny on stage. He's cool. He's everything. And always has great bands. Then I was hoping, oh, one day I hope I can play in his band. It's like, yeah, I can hope to play with Muddy one day, but then yeah, it won't be in this life. So, but James is about this, for me, he's about the same level. So then Gene Taylor gave me a call. Said, "Hey, we need a guitar player for a few gigs with James," and then I was thrilled to do that. Pretty nervous too because I never played with him, and yeah, when we played the first song, I couldn't open my eyes because I was too nervous to see his reaction. But suddenly, I open my eyes and I don't see James, and I see his hands flapping on both sides of my head. He was dancing right behind me, and he was encouraging me. So and from then on we got along fine, and we did I think 4 or 5 tours together. He produced my latest album, and yeah, he's a good friend. Normally we would have been on tour in May, but the Corona thing, and yeah, I hope it will happen. But yeah, I can't tell.
Those times will change, but he is a great guy. And I wondered, what was the difference of working with him as an artist as to working with him as a producer? Was that a different experience?
When I'm playing with James and he's the front man and doing his show, it's easier because yeah, you do everything to everything that I can possibly do to make the music sound better and to suit him. But yeah, when he's producing, he's there's your hero listening to you in the control room, hearing every detail, and also he's that's what I like about James. He tells it like it is. He's not gonna say something to keep you happy, or he just speaks his mind, and yeah, that's easy. But yeah, at the same time, yeah, sometimes it's a hard message that he said, but he's always right. So when he opens his mouth, it's most of the time it's very interesting. So it was fun in the studio. It's very relaxed.
Well, it came out wonderful. He did a great job of getting the best work out of you guys. So I really enjoyed that production that he did.
Yeah, the most fun thing was he entered the room the first day and said, "Hey Tim, I got a surprise for you. If you want it, can I put one of my songs on your album?" Of course, it's like a dream come true. Say, okay, then what's the song? Oh yeah, you'll hear it. And on the very last day, then he said, "Okay, it's time for the song." But everybody's waiting, like, what song? What key? What is it? And then he went to my old Masco amp. He plugged in his microphone. He counted. He shouted D. He counted, and then we played the song. And then when it was finished, the drummer said, "Okay, I want to do it again." Why? And he just went to sit down in his chair. And said, "Oh, we can play it we can do another good take, but well, I don't see the reason why we would do it again." So yeah, and I'm very pleased with that track. It's called I Speaks Shakedown, Throwdown.
Wow. Well, that's a wonderful story.
So the first band that you were in is Fried Bourbon, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And
that's
that
my
was
first
like a
band.
team of you and Stephen Troke.
Yeah.
And that's when I met you guys.
Yeah. You were playing with Tail Dragger.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, doing a hell of a show. I really enjoyed your set.
Well, I thought you guys were fabulous, and I liked the attitude of Fried Bourbon, and I liked what you were doing. If Fried Bourbon was your first band, I mean, how did you get into the blues and get started with it? And did you and Steven kind of start together?
No, I didn't start with Steven. Actually, when I was, I think 18 or something, I was studying for an exam at school, and I was already listening to blues. I discovered like Muddy and Wolf and stuff by Rolling Stones, because those records, those cool songs. And then I read about the Stones, and then they were telling, you should listen to Howling Wolf, to Little Walter and stuff. And then I was listening to that, but all my friends in my class, they were listening to Nirvana and stuff. So it was. And then I saw this festival on TV, Pinkpop in Holland, and suddenly there were the Red Devils opening, and they started out for a few rows of people, but at the end of their first song, the festival ground was packed, and people were shaking their asses off to blues, and it's like, oh, now.
So you thought, I want to do that, right?
I can do, and then I started to go to blues concerts. I discovered all those artists like Kim Wilson and James Harmon, Junior Watson, and that were actually playing that stuff, and that's how I got into blues. Also, Canned Heat was a big. I was a big Canned Heat fan when I started out, because it was one of the first gigs I saw. But they had Junior Watson in the band when I saw them. So they were playing like jump blues and traditional Chicago stuff mixed with their On the Road Again and some psychedelic stuff. And for me that was a great way to meet the blues. So
Bitten by the blues.
Were you already playing guitar at that point?
Yeah, I was playing guitar, but at that point I was just playing guitar for myself. My first goal was to be able to play a song around the campfire, and so the girls would notice me. So that was but then I learned that song was The House of the Rising Sun. I want to learn that song, but then I was able to play it. Then you set another goal, and then when I saw those Red Devils play and all those blues acts that were coming over, mostly from California back then, I said, I want to play in a band. And then I started my own band, Fried Bourbon. But we had a lot of lineup changes until I met Steven. And then we were like soul brothers. We were listening to the same music. Like, I think my whole record collection stayed at his place and vice versa. You know, it's like every time we saw each other, we exchanged like 8 records or something, because we were so eager to learn new stuff and to hear new stuff. So
I think it's more fun when you're learning the blues together rather than just researching it on your own. If you have somebody else saying, hey, did you hear this? And hey, did you hear that? And usually you need people to sort of go on the journey together with. So Fried Bourbon, how long did you guys stay together? And like, did you sort of start your own band like right after Fried Bourbon broke up? Or?
That's when Shakedown Tim started. It was out of necessity, because I didn't want that band to break up. But actually, it was a good thing that it happened, because everybody was telling me like, oh, you should do your own thing, because this band is cool, but you should do your own stuff apart from that band, and you should start singing, because you play guitar, you do a lot for that band, but you need to be on your own too. So and then when the band broke up, I felt really bad about it, because Steven, my best friend at the time, I was having a hell of a time. But after 14 years doing that,
Wow.
he needed some room too, I guess. And to be honest, I'm probably not the easiest person to be around for 40 years, very intensively. So, but yeah, we still get along fine. And when he's playing, I go to see him, and when I play, I sometimes see him too. So, and yeah, I really respect him a lot, and yeah.
You have a great voice. I
Yeah,
really like
you
your
do.
singing. I mean, you have a really clear voice, and you sing like exactly like yourself. You don't try to sound like anybody else. I mean, you're definitely on the right track there. Were you nervous when you were playing and singing, like when you first got started?
Oh yeah, it was
Mm.
yeah, because when I started singing, I had a few things I could do, but then if I'm like on stage and somebody, let's do this, and we have to do some new stuff on stage, like you invite something somebody up. Uh, yeah, I was discovering new things while I was on stage because I started singing, and immediately, yeah, the band started. So when Fried Bourbon broke up, I was jamming with some guys, and I had a telephone call for a festival. So yeah, Fried Bourbon broke up. Yeah, but you can be a second last band. It's okay. So but I didn't have a set or anything. So, okay, I got 3 months. I'm gonna do that. If they boo me, I just start playing guitar again, never sing again. If they like it, I go further. So yeah, we had good reviews.
There you go. That's a great story there. I mean, first you get the gig, and then you worry, then you figure out how to do it. You know,
Yeah,
so
I needed some pressure to keep singing because I really wanted to do it, but it was like, is it yeah, it's the question that never goes away. Is it good enough? Is it every musician has that question. I think you're always, when you listen to somebody else, that's cool. Yeah, there's a guitar player I heard like in California. He was like very insecure, never satisfied. But when I listened to him, it's like, man, that's, and never heard somebody play like that. And he was like almost depressed because it wasn't what he had in his head. I think, I don't know, but yeah, I think it's more or less the same story. Some people will have more trouble with it than others, but yeah. But then also when you're satisfied, then the fun is over, I guess.
huh,
So
well,
I'm always searching for something new. So mhm.
That's great.
so
Would you like to play another song for us? I'd love to hear another song.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This ship's going down. This ship's going down. This ship's going down. This ship's going down. There's water everywhere. There's water everywhere. Water everywhere. I just sit and stare. We're just drifting and drifting. We're just floating around. I ain't got no plan today, but searching for solid ground. The ship's going down. The ship's going down. The ship's going down. There's no captain around. Please stop rocking my boat. I don't want to go down. I am too lazy to swim, but I sure am afraid to drown. Ha! Ship's going down. The ship's going down. The ship's going down. There's no captain around. sharks circling my boat. That sure is a heavy load. Hey, Mr. Jaws, get off my back, 'cause I ain't no midnight snack. Ha, ship's going down.
Clever.
This ship's going down. The ship's going down. Oh, the ship's going down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're all in the same boat. And this ship is about to go down. But I got it all worked out. I'm gonna be the captain on this ship. And I call out to have a shipwreck party right here tonight. Ain't that fine? But I want to have had my kicks before the ships go down. So I got a plan. And this is where the bartender comes in. Hey, Mr. Bartender, I want you to send rum to all the people who are listening or watching this podcast. I want you to send your finest bottle of rum, and we're gonna drink the hell out of it. All right, are you ready? I'm ready. Let's drink a last shot of rum. Let's drink a last shot of rum. Let's drink a last shot of rum. For the last beat of the drum.
Right on. Whoa!
This is No Border Blues.
We'll
Nice.
definitely have to have some rum when we get there in Europe.
I got something else?
There we go.
That's a good drinking song.
Nice,
Fabulous.
nice job. Oh,
It's not
okay.
rum,
Yeah.
but this is my favorite beer. It's called Time Out. It's,
What's it called?
my
I
best
was
friend-
going to ask you what your favorite Belgian beer was. What's it called again?
Time Out.
Time Out.
Yeah, it's 9.5%. So if you drink like 4, 5, you start to have a real time out.
Right on.
But one is already good.
Excellent.
Nice. So that's great, man. Thanks for that. Good job.
Good job.
I heard a little Willie Johnson in there.
Oh yeah, he's always with me. It's one of my favorite players, Willie Johnson.
Yeah. So once you started your own project, I've noticed you've had the same people on both your CDs and with you for a long time. Ilya sounds great. And who is Boss, your bass player? What a name.
Oh, yeah.
Boss.
Yeah, Boss is. Yeah, he's a very good bass player. He's not in my band anymore, but because I got a new band. Yeah, but I do have had that lineup for the 2 records. Boss is he's a hell of a bass player. He does everything from blues to calypso, or actually he's a record collector, and those are for me. Most of the time, if you're a good musician and you get a lot of records, for me that's a plus, because they cannot only play, they hear things because they know all that stuff. So I mean,
Right.
they always said I'm not the blues guy. I know some blues, but he knows more blues than most people. But yeah, a lot of other stuff too. But now I'm playing with Jack O'Rooney on bass. Maybe you or Jack. He used to be called Jack Fire. He's also one of the best upright bass players in Belgium. He even played with Andre Williams when he lived in the States, and
nice.
He even turned down Chuck Berry after one gig because he didn't like the gig.
Wow.
So yeah, it's like he's a very big fan of Chuck Berry, but he said, "Man, he just treated us bad. I just quit." It's like, man,
oh
you
my.
Chuck Berry, you just don't do that. But yeah, so yeah, I'd rather play with you. So, okay. Yeah.
So your first record, how long were you guys together before you made your first record, that Hard to Catch?
Not even a year. Yeah, a year, I think. But Boss was only there, the bass player, he was only there for 2 months, I think, or 1 month and a half, because he started out with another bass player.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then we did the two records with that lineup. But the second record, yeah, we had Gene Taylor joining in on piano, and James did some harmonica on a few tracks, and and now, yeah, I'm gonna record another one with the new band.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah. So yeah, the new band. There's this friend of mine is also. Yeah, I know him for about the same time. I know Stephen Trock. He's a piano player. Ilya Scotch. He's an amazing singer, piano player, and yeah, I'm so glad to have him in the band. And then Koen van Petegem. He's a drummer who played with Stephen Trock when I got to know him. They had a real cool band playing some, yeah, like Delta stuff with drums, but they had like very ancient drums, you know, with those not a modern bass drum, but with ropes and stuff. Yeah, his father, he has a jazz club, but not a modern jazz, but like old-timey jazz and some blues things. So he grew up with the music and he feels the music. So those guys I'm playing with now, yeah, I feel even more at ease as before because they know everything. They make me feel comfortable. They're my age. They did the same stuff as I did before, and they're just in there for the music, and they don't want to waste time. So that's good.
As far as blues players your age in Belgium, I mean, there can't be that many, are there?
No, there are. Yeah, if you would make a list, there would be okay. Now I have to be very careful with what I say because there are a lot of blues players, but I don't want to judge people. But there are a lot of people that are, I'm a blues player, but actually they want to be Richie Blackmore or Jimmy Page or whatever. But then they have this blues band, and then they can go on and play, and that's fine that's fine with me. But I think if you want to call yourself a blues player, at least you have to know some stuff and feel it and understand what's it's about. So there, like in the world, there are going to be a lot of blues players, but yeah, in my book, I have to believe it, and that's weird coming from a white guy from Belgium, but yeah.
No, believe me, I understand. So you're on Rhythm Bomb Records, which is kind of a rockabilly label. Are there people in Europe that say, "Oh, they're good, but they're not really a rockabilly band" or something?
I had the other way around. We got when with the first record we played a lot of rockabilly festivals, and I like the rockabilly you play, and then I just shut up because it's, okay, if you like the music, you book us. We're on a very fine stage.
Don't fix it if it ain't broke, right?
Yeah. So then I'll do some more Junior Parker 2-beat stuff, and everybody's happy. But if they like the music and they feel it, and if the booker thinks it's rockabilly, I'm happy to play everywhere when people are listening and appreciating it. So I'd rather play a rockabilly festival with people digging the music than play an empty blues club.
And when you play those rockabilly festivals and you play like the slide guitar, like you were doing, it was kind of like Johnny Shines, and you had that Stella with the old pickup and stuff. I mean, going back to what you were talking about with the old instruments. I mean, is that kind of like
They
pushing
like
the
that.
edge, and like they don't want to, it's not like the right thing for a rockabilly festival?
I play. There's a song I recorded with Fry Bourbon that I do on that Stella that I play every time, and they like it. They come and ask about, I want to buy the record with that song. Every time I only play 2 songs or maximum 3 in a gig on that Stella, and then they come ask for it because it sounds way different than the other guitars, and
I have to tell you, I learned to play guitar from my dad, and I learned on his guitar, which was a Stella, and the strings were about this far off the neck.
Yeah.
And just every time you made a C chord, it was just a world of pain, But I toughed it out.
It's like wrestling an alligator when you play guitar.
When I saw you with that Stella, I'm like, yeah, man. And last question about the equipment. I noticed you play that black guitar, and what is it, an Esmeralda?
Yeah, I noticed that too in the videos.
That's a classic. Tell us about that guitar.
Tell me about that guitar.
Yeah, the other one I just bought in the beginning of the year, but this is really my main guitar.
Right, you're famous for that guitar.
That's a Harmony Espanada from 1956.
Woo!
Yeah. So it's a Harmony guitar with the P13 pickups in it. That's all. They were also made for Gibson for a short while. But it's for me this. I can play. You can make this guitar sound like Willie Johnson or T-Bone Walker or Wes Montgomery. You can do everything on this guitar, and I even with Fried Bourbon there was like a boogie song that really had some heavy guitar on it. I played it on this one. It's a hollow body, never feedbacked, so it's this guitar has never let me down. So
So you said that's a P13 pickups?
Yeah.
So those are for some of our listeners who might not know. Like I'm familiar with the P90s, like that's a real classic, vintage sound. But a P13 has like less output than a P90.
I don't know about that because I'm not so very technical. I do recognize the sound when I hear them, but it's they were the P19s came after this. Gibson started to make their own pickups, and then they made the P90s. But before that, they used this. It's they're warmer than P90s, I think.
Well, you sound great on it. It's a big part of your sound. Although the other guitars sounded excellent too. So now you have 2 great choices, and I like what you're doing with that. So I guess my last question really is, like, you've talked a bit about your new band. What are you looking forward to with your new band?
We started with that band and everything went so smooth. We played like we could go on stage and things happened. Like we play like Chicago blues and jump, but also some. If I call it jazz, don't think jazz like I'm thinking more Tiny Grime stuff, and it was working with those guys because they all know the different styles, and we play very intense but at low volume, and we had a lot of gigs for dancing people. People were really doing slow blues dancing and swinging, so I look forward to do more of that stuff because if possible, we play with an acoustic piano if it's there, and I play like now. My amps they keep
getting smaller.
Getting smaller, and it's possible with the Gibson I'm playing now. It's a Gibson E125 amp from 1941, I think.
Wow!
It's 10 watts. I can use it with that band because they're intense, but they're low in volume, and they get the people dancing. So I hope to play with them a lot, and I think it's about time for us to start recording because I got a few songs that are already recorded, but right now I'm writing and stuff and hoping to go in the studio and make an album with those guys. So
That's great, man. I'm really looking forward to hearing it. I noticed you toured in Southern California in 2019, and you played at the NAMM show. You must have felt like a fish out of water with all these like 8-string basses and stuff like that. And
that was the NAMM show itself, but I was playing like there's like a gig everywhere, and there were a few blues clubs that were doing stuff, and there were no 8-string basses over there. They were all like I went. Like every gig I went, there was like Keith Ramos entering, Nick Moss was there, all the great players came along and joined in on stage. It was a lot of fun. I met a lot of people, and and luckily for me, I didn't see 8-string basses. It was all I've been to the NAMM. I've seen all the latest stuff, but one day is enough for me. I always go to the vintage guitar show. It's in Costa Mesa. And
How did it feel to come to the States and play the blues in the States?
Yeah, and then I always go home with a guitar. So
that's a beautiful guitar. Yeah, tell us about that.
That's that picture of Howlin' Wolf in front of the grocery store with the national guitar? This is the same, but branded. It used to be branded Supro. It's the kind of guitar Willie Johnson played. That's why I bought it. And to be honest, I hear it when you play it. It's and you put it on maximum volume. It's like moaning at midnight or how many more years. And if you turn down the tone, it's almost like hollow body jazz guitar, but and also the cover is it's like mother of toilet seats. It's it's not like wood. It's like like those 50s diner tables or stuff and but I saw that. So every time I go to the States, I come home and I have to sell stuff to pay for what I bought, I never saw a guitar like this, only in books, and then it's there, so But now all the money's gone and the house is filled with guitars, so I have to stop doing that.
Well, you've got the materials you need to move forward. I really like what you do, and the world is a better place because of your band.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks.
Well, I want to thank you.
The world's a better place with your podcast and what you guys are doing. Because
we're trying to like broaden the tent here, and because I feel like our peers outside the United States deserve as much recognition as people inside the United States, because there's so much high quality work. I mean, what do you think about that stuff?
I think it's really important to recognize the international blues artists, and I hope that they get the recognition that they deserve, and more people are really tuning in to international blues, and also the collaboration from overseas is great as well. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much. And when you're in Belgium, let me know.
Anything else you'd like to add?
The most important thing is thank you, because my last gig was on December the 6th. And since then I'm at home, and it's so much fun. It's so fun to see you guys and play and talk. And I know everything's going to get better, but it's a very good moment. So it gives me energy to go further, I look forward to normal, abnormal times again. I want to go back to the old abnormal.
Yeah. All right, Shakedown Tim. From what town are you in Belgium, Tim?
Now I live in Rumst, but the place where I was born is it's 2 miles from here. It's called Boom. Like the John Lee Hooker song, Boom Boom.
That's a great name for a town, Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for being on our show, and we'll see you next time, all right?
Okay, see you next time.
No Border Blues.
Bye.
This has been No Border Blues with Johnny Bergen and Stephanie Tice.